Welcome to Moonstone Update. I'm Mark Beshard, the Managing Editor of Moonstone Publications. This is an overview of some of the stories we've covered over the past week, but first please hit the subscribe button and share this video with your friends and colleagues. South Africans who don't believe they're getting value for their taxes should vote in a new government, says Sars Commissioner Edward Kieswetter. People are tired of hearing excuses for the lack of service delivery. However, they would think long and hard before joining a tax revolt. Sars doesn't set tax policy, but Kieswetter believes the government should introduce measures to provide some relief from load shedding and incentives for households to generate their own electricity. The Financial Services Tribunal has set aside the debarment of a representative, but did not send the decision back to the FSP for reconsideration after the FSP failed twice to follow the correct procedure. The tribunal was not convinced the FSP would make an unbiased decision if the matter was remitted for a third time. One of the procedural problems was that the rep was denied access to information necessary for conducting her defense. BrightRock has rejected rumours that Sanlam's decision to buy it out was because the life insurer might not be able to meet its obligations. BrightRock said Sanlam's sizable investment over the next 3 years demonstrated its confidence in the company, drawing attention to the take-up of its needs-match cover and its track record of paying out claims. Consulta has published its latest Customer Satisfaction Index for medical schemes, showing which of the country's largest schemes has the most satisfied members. Survey insights are based on feedback from members of BestMed, Bonitas, Discovery, MediHelp and the Government Employees Medical Scheme. For the first time since 2019, schemes are starting to bounce back when it comes to measuring the gap between what members expect and what they perceive they are receiving. The process for a tax dispute against a decision or an assessment by Sars starts with an objection, but when it is rejected, the case can go all the way to the tax court, the High Court and even the Supreme Court of Appeal. It is important for taxpayers to formulate comprehensive grounds of objection and appeal from the beginning of the dispute resolution process. As a rule, a taxpayer is not permitted to raise new grounds of objection on appeal. However, there is an exception. Most South Africans wish they had made better financial decisions when they were younger by growing their money instead of spending it, according to a survey commissioned by Sanlam. The results show that few South Africans receive advice from a financial advisor when they are starting out in their working lives. They are therefore missing out on putting the proper building blocks in place to grow their wealth. All the amendments to the Trust Property Control Act will come into effect by the 1st of April. The amendments impose some significant obligations on trustees, particularly when it comes to keeping records about beneficial ownership. Waxman's Attorneys provides an overview of the amendments and what will be expected of trustees. Last year, the FSCA published a draft notice designed to make it easier for retirement funds to get an exemption from the full liquidation process when the participating employer withdraws from the fund. The exemption is now in effect. Funds that apply for an exemption no longer require an average benefit per member of less than 50,000 Rand, and the membership threshold has been raised from 50 to 100 members. That's all we have for this week. You can read these stories and many more on our website moonstone.co.za. Until next time, here's wishing you all the best from the team at Moonstone Information Refinery.